Hello everyone, welcome back to TechCloud channel. Today we are diving into a topic that affects every internet user, the difference between HTTP and HTTPS. If you have ever wondered what those letters mean at the beginning of a website URL, you are in the right place, my friend. So, before we get started, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our tech related content. Now, so let's first look into the back days or evolution of HTTP to HTTPS from being unsecured plain text to the secure and encrypted communication. So the first, let's see the history of HTTP and HTTPS. So HTTP hypertext transfer protocol and HTTPS is hypertext transfer protocol secure is intertwined with the development and evolution of internet security and communication port protocol. At first, the birth of HTTP. So it was invented by Tim Berners-Lee, a British computer scientist, invented the World Wide Web in 1989 while working at CERN, European Organization of Nuclear Research. He proposed a system of information management that would later evolve into HTTP. In 1991, he released the first web browser and server software, which laid the groundwork for HTTP. Later on, the evolution of this HTTP. The initial version of HTTP was HTTP 0.9, was a simple protocol that allowed the transfer of hypertext document between a client and a server. This version did not support headers or other advanced feature. Another evolution, so HTTP 1.0. In 1996, the HTTP 1.0 protocol was introduced, bringing significant improvement. It added support for multiple media types, requested methods such as get, post, put, delete, and status code as well. However, it is still lacked the robust security feature which was required by the infrastructure. Then this need of the secure communication increased, and as the internet extended, the need for the secure communication became evident with the rise of e-commerce and online transaction. Ensuring the security and privacy of user data become a crucial to prevent interception and tampering by malicious actors. Later on, they introduced this HTTPS. Yes, the solution came in the form of HTTPS, HTTP Secure. In the mid of 1990, Netscape Communication Corporation introduced HTTPS as an extension of HTTP, adding a security layer using SSL, Secure Socket Layer encryption. SSL ensured that data exchange between a user's browser and the server was encrypted, protecting sensitive information from interception as well. Now, this SSL also transitioned to the newer version, which is TLS. SSL evolved into TLS, which is Transport Layer Security, due to security vulnerabilities found in SSL. Now, this TSL became the standard encryption protocol for HTTPS connections. The transition from SSL to TLS introduced stronger encryption algorithm and improved security measures. It's being widespread adoption of HTTPS. Initially, HTTPS was primarily used for sensitive transaction like online banking or shopping. However, over the time, its importance grew and there was a push for a more secure web experience. Major websites and browsers started advocating for HTTPS adoption across all web pages to enhance overall security and protect user privacy. Later, the modern standards and advances introduced. Today, these days, HTTP is a standard for secure communication on the web, for sure. HTTP 2 and HTTP 3 have further improved speed and performance while maintaining the encryption throughout the HTTPS. Like certificates issued by the certificate authority validate the authenticity of the HTTPS website, assuring users that they connecting to is the legitimate servers or legitimate web servers. There are few ongoing development going on which continued the effort in internet security involve enhancing encryption standard, mitigating vulnerabilities and promoting a secure by default approach with initiative like Let's Encrypt providing free SSL or TLS certificate to enable wider HTTP adoption. Now let's deep dive into the HTTP more. HTTP, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, is a fundamental protocol used for transmitting data over the internet. So now let's see some component of HTTP. First is hypertext and hyperlink. HTTP is designed for the transfer of hypertext, which refers to the text that contains links, which you can call a hyperlink, to other web pages, documents, or resources. Next, the client server communication. So this HTTP operate on a client server model where client is typically a web browser like Chrome, Firefox or Safari, and server is a remote computer that hosts web resources such as a web page, image, file or anything. Also, HTTP is a stateless protocol, meaning that each request made by the client to the server is independent and does not retain any information about previous request. That's why it is stateless protocol. Then HTTP method. So HTTP uses different methods or you can say verbs to specify the action to be performed on a resource. Common HTTP method we can consider this. So get, post, put and delete. Get used to retrieve data from the server. When you enter a URL in a browser, it typically send a get request to the server to fetch the web page. Then post. Post method is used to submit data to be processed by the server, often used for submitting forms or uploading files. Then we have the put method. Put method is used to update an existing resources on the server. Then delete method. So delete method used to request the removal of resources from the server, though not all server supported this method in certain areas. It has some status code. Status code you can say like the response code when the things are either okay or not okay. So HTTP responses include status code that indicate the outcome of the request, which commonly being used, might have seen also. So there is 200 okay. So this code means the request was successful and the server has returned the requested resource. Another one is 404 not found. This status code, this requested resource could not be found on the server. Then we have this 500 internal server error. This means an error occurred on the server while processing the request. Then the text base. That's a main concept in HTTP. HTTP is a text-based protocol, which means that its messages, both request and response, whatever is being happening between the client and the server, everything is just in a readable format, in a text format, which everybody can read it out. As you can see now on the screen that whatever we access over HTTP website, it will show message like this. Now, so however HTTP is not secure, the data transfer between your browser and the website server is not encrypted, which means it's vulnerable to interception by hackers. Any information you put like password, credit card details or personal data could be at risk. Now let's see, as we can see on the screen here that browser showed it is unsecure. Also data is in plain text over HTTP that uses port 80, and on the top of this we can see it's a post request, means this has to submit to the server. So this is the issue. If anyone can take the packet capture, can see the data as well. Here are some status code error snaps like the 404, 200 and 500. This you can also encounter sometime. So that is all about HTTP today. This is the part 1, and please keep supporting. Do like, share, comment and subscribe, and we will soon upload the part 2 as well. Thank you for watching.